So I'm just saying that because I'm just doing enough as part three just to finish off. Is life's for enjoying, and all this drama on YouTube between atheists and Christians, it has to stop. You supposedly this big community of the big debate, but those who can contribute to the debate, like Richard Raspberry, for example, and even Brett Keane, and I'm not sticking up for them, but I'm just saying that there are people who can contribute to. Um, Arcane is another example. Um, Veckel is another example. These are people who want to contribute to the debate and discussion, and yet they're being marginalised because of drama. And I think that this drama has gotten out of hand, and I think it has to stop. I think people have to get back on topic and get back to discussing the issues, get back to talking about the issues. And I've never felt part of the big debate community because I felt that the big debate community is run by what I would call the rat pack. Those people who just want to create drama and exclude those people who could be part of the big debate. So I've never really taken the big debate seriously. I've just saw that as a controlling community who want to control who's in and who's out for their own propaganda purposes. And they use Christians, uh, people who claim to be Christians who aren't Christians, who are really on the side of atheists. For example, Geek. Geek is a perfect example. Uh, Geek is was on a show the other day. He was on G-Man show, and JD Kane came on the show. No, sorry, it was about JD Kane and Fiona, and Geek was there defending these people. And G-Man said, "Well, what about Jason Burns? I mean, they're attacking Jason Burns," and he said, "Did he lie?" And I thought to myself, well, basically, that same day, Rand Campbell, we had a show with Rand Campbell, we had JD Kane come on and basically showed himself to be a complete idiot. He kept coming on, he was kicked off, he come on, kicked off, come on, kicked off. He was saying the most foul language, disgusting behaviour, and he was just terrible, really. And so Geek would rather side with JD Kane, sit on his Google Hangout, than sit on my Google Hangout when JD Kane is involved in that kind of behaviour. And he would rather call my character into question rather than say a JD Kane's character into question, which to me shows you where Geek is at. And so for me, I really have not got, I've never had any respect, to be honest, for this so-called community, principally what I would call an atheist community who call the big debate. I've never had any respect for it because of this kind of behaviour, this kind of hypocrisy. And I just want to say that I had my thing. My thing was, for the first few years, was to attack militant atheism, and I wasn't at my best at the time, and there were many issues about that, and everybody knows about that. It's in the Wounded Prophet. That was my thing, and once I'd done that, I began to get healing, and I began to move forward, and that was it. And then I've got a new life now. I'm doing new things, and I'm much happier in a much happier place. But I just want to wrap it up with this community that this, what I would call the Rat Pack. I want to wrap it up because I want people to know that this Rat Pack really needs to stop. Jim Gardner and Lenator are trying to diversify and are trying to make themselves into more sweeter atheist, getting alongside Pouty, Christopher Mouty or Pouty, whatever his name is. But you need to know that this Rat Pack, what they did, this Rat Pack bullied me. All these things that they show of the past are all edited. They're all playing the victim card. They play the victim card by editing these videos and trying to make me look bad. And they're playing these victim cards. But always remember this with these people. They hunt in packs. And if you go through the history of these people and see what they did to me, you'll see them working as a pact, working as a group of people where they picked on me. And they try to pick you off by playing the victim card. One of them will play the victim card, then another will play the victim card, and everybody goes, oh, Jason's done this or done that. But if you look at them, you go back at their Google Hangouts, and you'll see them all sat down on Hangouts talking about me, stabbing me in the back, all getting ready and preparing for these kind of playing victim cards that they've done in the past. And it comes down to the fact that the Rat Pack, as far as I'm concerned, are very emotionally imbalanced and very they're lost in an unreality. They're not in the real world, and for that reason I'm not prepared to suffer with a group of people who just don't care. When Cliffjumper came back, having filmed me in Manchester, this atheist, he came back and he attended a show on the Captain Awesome show. As he was on that show, I came home and I literally nearly had a breakdown. I literally was shaking, and I didn't leave my house for nearly 2 weeks. That's how traumatized I was. And I came back and I thought I'll just see if he goes on YouTube now and puts it on YouTube. And I went and I saw him on the Captain Awesome crew. He said he wasn't going to play the video because it would be cyberbullying, but he went and played the video. This is a guy who calls me a liar. The guy who said he would not play it, plays it, because he said he'd be cyberbullying. But as he tells them about it, the Captain Awesome crew were having a drinking session, getting drunk, playing videos with me, and when they heard this news they were delighted, and Fiona was, and they were laughing their heads off, while I was at home traumatized. And I was totally traumatized. I was traumatized for 2 weeks. I won't go into Manchester for 2 weeks. And she was laughing her head off at Cliffjumper's video. And on top of that, they encouraged him to put the video on. Now, these people have, they've encouraged 4 archive channels. That is humongous cyberbullying. I've tried to be gracious with these channels because I can be a gracious guy, but they have 4 archive channels on me, and they're just nests for cyberbullying. They're just 4. Why do you need 4 archive channels? 4 where basically the nest for cyberbullying. 3 of them have not been involved in bullying me, but recently again they have. they jump on the bandwagon. And basically everything that I said about these atheists, about they are malicious, they are vicious, they take away your free speech and all the rest, everything that I said in my videos, those 4 or 5 years attacking militant atheism, everything that I said is 100% true. 100% true. Because they have basically taken away my freedom of speech. Well, the point is that when I came home and I was broken hearted and I was really traumatized, Fiona was laughing her head off on the Captain Awesome crew. And the Captain Awesome crew were laughing their heads off. And I'm not prepared to come on YouTube and have a nervous breakdown because of idiots. And that's all they are, is idiots. And that's why I'm not coming back to YouTube. I know I've said it a million times, but I'm making these videos, I'm making it absolutely clear why I'm leaving. I'm leaving YouTube because of Cliffjumper, because of Alex Bolton, because of Jim Gardner, because of Fiona, because of Lenator, because of Captain Awesome Crew, because of these kind of people, Wayne Hudson and Mark and others. I'm leaving YouTube because these people crossed the line. And because of the archive channel. The archive channels. I'm leaving because they have made my life a hell for the last 4 or 5 months. And if I ever mention atheism or say anything, they make my life a hell again. Why these people can't just get on with their lives and just debate people and discuss with people and just have arguments, debates with people and arguments, throw around arguments and debate. Why they can't just do that, I don't know. But I'm just not prepared to undergo this kind of abuse. And like I said, if they're ever exposed for what they did, then I forgive them. I don't have any bitterness. But I'm just not prepared to suffer the mental cruelty, the mental suffering of a gang of people who ganged up on me. And if I ever make a video, if I ever go on a Christian YouTube channel, they gang up on you again. And I'm not prepared for that. That takes the fun out of it. It's not funny anymore. And to me, at the end of the day, I'm all about fun, believe it or not. A lot of my videos are just a wind-up. All this, I'm going to debate you, I'm going to be the best debater in the world, I'm Europe's intellectual and all that. All of it's fun. I'm just having a wind-up. So if you can't see that as atheists, some of you atheists, then you've got real psychological issues. And that's what I think anyway.